your body. So people off-season, if they do too much aerobic activity off-season, then pre-contest, when your body has to get really conditioned, then you're going to have to do much more cardio than you're going to want to do. So off-season, you should probably limit your aerobic activity to probably 3 times a week, 20 minutes. Always with oxygen. You can't transport fat and energy without oxygen, so check your heart rate. Walk, step, or ride as fast as you can, but still maintaining oxygen. So off-season is very important. You want to train hard, train heavy, but don't do too much cardio off-season, because if you do pre-contest, then you're going to have to do hours and hours of cardio, and that's really not necessary. So try to eat clean year-round. You can off-season enjoy yourself. You can still fat load period, on a regular basis, a couple times a week, and limit your cardiovascular. Weight training, your body has 3 different energies, what they call ATP, glycolysis, and Krebs cycle. The old theory years ago was ATP was strictly 6 reps or less, heavy weight, which would increase strength and size. And then glycolysis cycle, which was moderate weight, moderate reps, which was for strength and shape. And then Krebs cycle was lightweight, high reps, strictly for shaping. The studies coming back now prove that all 3 energies are very important to do. I don't think one energy produces more muscle than the other. The old days, we all got big off-season. We were doing ATP because we were just eating whole eggs and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So we got big and bulky. Nowadays, I think it's very important to shock your body with weight training, so you can either cycle it week to week, change your theory, or month to month. But you should do ATP, very heavy weight, good form so you don't get an injury, maybe 5 or 6 sets of 6 reps or less. The next theory would be the moderate weight, moderate rep, which would be somewhere between 8 and 12 repetitions, using good form, going to failure, and probably doing 3 to 4 sets. In the following cycle, the Krebs cycle, you want to do 15 to 25, 30 reps per set, maybe 3 sets. That would be Krebs cycle, mainly for shaping the muscle. And also your muscle fiber has what they call a fast and slow twitch fiber. So you've got to learn to shock your muscle. So don't always do the same exercises and don't always do the same repetitions. That's very important. So learn to shock your body by altering your theory between your workouts. Shock your body by going out off-season and fat loading at least a couple times a week. And shock your body by going through cycles, doing cardiovascular exercises for a certain period of time. Get out of the aerobic state, stop doing aerobic activity, and so your body won't get too accustomed to doing cardio all the time. People who are too aerobically efficient have a very difficult time the last several weeks before a contest getting that extra conditioning that you need. So the main thing is learn how to shock your body, and in your weight training, in nutrition, and aerobic activity. Okay, I'm going to go up and get some of our bodybuilders. We're going to sit down and just have a little round table discussion talking about what they do. And after that, we'll go through putting some of them through some poses. For some of our national champions, we're going to talk about what each individual, one of the bodybuilders, what they do off-season, what they do pre-contest, what they think about natural bodybuilding. I'd like to introduce them all first. On my right is Linda Pimentel. She's from Massachusetts. She was the overall Open champion of 1996. And this year she is the 1997 Pro overall champion. At the age of 48 years old, she's probably the best natural woman bodybuilder in the country today. Linda Pimentel. Then we have Joe Summerall from Massachusetts. He's, again, last year in the 1996, was the middleweight national champion, amateur. This year at the first pro show, Joe won the male pro division. And Joe, again, is 39 years old, and he's got an outstanding physique. These are 2 bodybuilders who could be competing as a master or grandmaster level, and there are 2 best open pro, male and female. To my left is Fitzroy Bramble, again from Massachusetts. 1996 was the NABF National Master Overall Champion. Along with all these bodybuilders have many other titles. But 96 he was the Master National Champion. Took his pro card, and in his first pro show at the age of 45-ish, 43, lighter than me, still a baby. He finished third in the first NABF Pro show. So here we are with the Pro division, and we have people who are eligible for Master or Grandmaster classes, winning and placing high in our Pro division. Next to Fitzroy is Dave Finelli from Massachusetts. He's competed for us a number of times this season, but this year at the Pro-Am America in the amateur middleweight, he's the middleweight national champion, and it's David Finelli. And to his left is Seth Cohen from New Hampshire. He is our national light heavyweight champion in 1997, along with many other titles he's won over the last couple of years. Again, these are bodybuilders who have been around a few years, and they're probably some of the, there's no question about it, they're the best natural bodybuilders in the country today. I'd like to have each one of them introduce themselves and just talk about where they're from, where they train, how they got involved in bodybuilding, and any tips that they may have for you. We'll start with Linda.
Okay, my name's Linda Pimentel. I train at World's Gym in Somerville and Gold's Gym in Everett. I train basically 4 days a week. I also run in the morning. I do train with a partner who pushes me. That's about it.
And wait till you see a pose. Never please, she's 48 years old. But Linda is probably the best natural woman bodybuilder I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Next, Joe.
My name is Joe Summerall. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I train at Nutrition Plus in Boston. I've been training since I was about 17, bodybuilding training for about 6 years. And I train about 3 to 4 days a week. Just keep the intensity high and stay consistent and disciplined with my diet year-round, and that's about it.
And Joe also, he has just opened a supplement store in Boston.
Right. It's called Nutrition Plus. It's a retail supplements and personal training all in one location.
And you're also a professional entertainer.
Yeah.
Actually, he made Fitzroy's tape for the Pro division, and Fitzroy got Best Poser. So Joe is a professional musician. He travels around the country. What's the name of the band?
Downtime.
Downtime.
Among other bands that I play with and stuff.
It's Joe, Pro 1997 champion. Fitzroy?
My name is Fitzroy Bramble. I've been training now for about, say, 14 years. And I own a fitness training company called Progressive Muscle and Fitness. I do training around the Boston, Malden area. And I train basically 2 days on, 1 day off, all year round.
That's it?
Yeah.
No shorter words today. Dave?
Let's do his drinks.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Dave Finelli. I'm a personal trainer and nutrition consultant. I own a company called Personal Best Fitness Consultants. I train out of World Gym Plus in Seekonk in Massachusetts. I've been training for about 12 years, competing for about 9. Competing for me is my life, and bodybuilding as well is my life. It's not really just a hobby. I try and lead my clients by example. I feel that the better I do, the better that my clients will do. I train on a 4-day split, 4 days on, 1 day off, and that's pretty much year-round. Try and stay as close nutritionally to contest shape as I can, without eating a pizza every now and again. As far as my training, I always felt I was a little bigger in my legs than I was in my upper body, and I kind of curtailed my training accordingly to really use the term bodybuilding in its truest form. You need to project your body to what the judges are looking for when you are in the competitive realm, and give them what they want to see. If you're too big up top or not big enough at the bottom, you're going to be penalized in your scorings for that. So your training reflects what you look like the day of the contest.
Seth Cohen?
My name is Seth Cohen, as Al said. I train in Gold's Gym in Merrimack, New Hampshire. I've been training for about 3 years now. competing for about 2. And I train about 3 days a week, 4 days a week, depending. And I keep dieting all year round. Like Dave said, with an occasional pizza here and there. But I think if you are interested in getting into the bodybuilding realm, you need to make a decision whether or not it's going to be like a full-time thing for you, because it's just, you can't, it's not the kind of thing you just make a just to just do. You have to kind of make a dedication to it, because but the benefits are great. So that's so.
Yeah, I was talking about that before the group came down. There is the part-time bodybuilders who just diet 8, 10, 12 weeks before a contest, and then off-season they just bulk up too much and they get too far off track for when they have to diet down for the next competition. They have a tendency of losing too much lean muscle tissue. So I think a lot of the people are saying women classes, men's bantam, men's lightweight, they probably should stay 10 to 15 pounds from competition weight. And larger men, middleweights, light heavyweights, heavyweights, they should probably stay around 20 pounds within competition weight. Not to say you want to put on as much lean muscle tissue as possible from season to season, so if you're a young person, you may have a tendency of being able to put on many pounds of muscle in 1 year. So you got to, keep your body fat under control, and try to live a bodybuilding diet year round, and increase your caloric intake off season. And you can you should have a couple of days a week where you're fat low. That will help speed up your metabolism, reward yourself for eating correctly all week, and give you some energy to stay on track. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself picking most of the time. Training-wise, do you guys pretty much do the same thing year-round, or do you mix up your rep schemes, your weight?
Absolutely missing out, definitely.
I think the main thing is to learn how to shock your body.
Yep.
I think
With your diet, if you're a fanatic about your diet, those people don't seem to do as well as people who train hard and eat correctly, but it's good to go out and
right.
Yep.
fat
Shock
load.
it.
You do need the fat load, and there's more and more bodybuilders probably getting into a higher fat. Again, I talked earlier about oxidation rate, but there are more and more bodybuilders going on to a higher fat, lower carbohydrate, lower starch diets and seeing great results. But if your energy level really falls too low, then some people can't do that. So just because someone says you should be on a very high fat, high protein, low carbohydrate diet, it does work for a lot of people, but it doesn't work for everyone. And there are other bodybuilders that probably should do the opposite.
Right.
Yep. I agree.
I firmly believe that, and what I do with my particular clients, and I'm sure you guys do the same with yours, is that you have to find out what the individual needs are of the individual person. Yes, we're all human beings, but certainly not put together. We are put together the same way, but we don't operate exactly the same way.
Right.
Some people have a very fast metabolism. Some people have very kind of a sluggish metabolism, and we need to find out, us as the trainers, to find out what makes that body work. There is a certain recipe of food that, meaning calories, protein, carbohydrates, and fats, that works for that particular individual. In some cases, that's kind of, it's being like a detective, if you will, trying to find out exactly what does work for that person. When you find it, it's like finding the golden egg, and it will work every single time. It will work every time.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with training. I firmly believe there are certain exercises myself that I've tried that just I don't feel that work very well for my body. When I do use certain exercises, I might end up with joint pain or tendinitis and that kind of thing, so I just stay away from those exercises. I don't do those exercises for the sake of seeing other people doing the exercises. I do what works for me, for David, and if it doesn't